Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacqueline. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacqueline at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hopefully it's welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, and our show today is Talking Heads. If you're joining us for the first time, we're so happy to have you. A big shout out and welcome to our new listeners on our radio channels. This show is all about being an expert in your field and sharing your knowledge, your expertise, your learnings in your own 30-minute show. Today is a very special show because our talking head expert, Keegan Daly, is finishing her 12th of 12 episodes on a specific topic. And we're so happy to have her here. Let's welcome her to the stage. Hello, Jean.
Hello, Dr. Jacqueline. Hello, everyone.
So nice to have you. It's been such a pleasure learning from you each and every week. And I just thank you for everything that you've shared with our audience and with me personally. And we welcome you to come back and share more knowledge, more expertise when it's appropriate for you, when you feel like coming back. That would be fantastic.
Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed these 12 weeks with you and with our audiences. And I am very happy to be here today. A little sad too that it's my last time for now. For now.
Exactly. Well, it's just for now, Jean. You have some other things that you're going to be doing that are pretty exciting as well in your life, and we'll be here, God willing. So do come back and see us, and have a great show. I'll be backstage and see you afterwards.
Thank you. So hi everyone. I want to present to you today kind of a culmination of everything that I have taught so far. And that is holistic in and of itself. All of my theme for these 12 weeks has been practical pathways to being your very best self holistically. So that means incorporating body, mind, spirit, and emotion. And all of the programs before now that I have presented to you have been ways for you to understand the connections between your body and your mind and your spirit and your emotions, and also your environment. So, a little bit each week, although I just have about 25 minutes, it's something that I embrace myself. I've been doing this and learning as I go along for at least 45 years, at least. So, my book, which is entitled Reflections of a Seasoned Soul, takes you through my journey of how I went from just being taught a certain way so much. And what I want to present today is expressions and values of kindness and compassion and love and respect and forgiveness and gratitude, with touching on each one of those subjects. So, as you know, you've heard me talk before, we are holistic beings, and the center core of us is our spirit. That connection we have to divine energy, to divine creativity, to all that is. We are connected with ourselves in all the ways that we are a being. We are connected with each other. We are connected with the world. We are connected with the universe. And that has really been proven by quantum physics. So if you want to get into how that is so and how you can prove to yourself that that is true, you can research quantum physics. There's been so much written about all of these connections. And we're at a time now where we are seeing it more and more and more. And so, what we need to do is understand that each of us, although we are all connected, each of us has our own separate personality in this lifetime. Excuse me. And it is so important to be kind. Kindness is something that the world needs all the time, not just when you feel good, not just when you feel that everything is going smoothly in your life and people are nice to you. Kindness is important every single day. Kindness to yourself, kindness to others, kindness to the world, kindness to our plant world, kindness to our animal kingdom, kindness to everything in nature. Because kindness has an energy about it that is very uplifting, very connected to our spiritual source, in that we can grow from being kind. We can become more kind, more understanding, more aware from our own kindnesses that we give to ourselves and to others. So we can even be kind with emotions that we don't particularly like feeling, like disappointment or hurt or anger or fear or judgment of any kind. So when you get in touch with your holistic self and you're coming from your heart, your spirit, you are being who you were created to be, which is connection with the universe, with that God source, with the beingness of everyone. Then you can say to someone, for example, when you might be upset with the person, okay, you might say to that person, I hear you. I see that you're very upset with me, and I respect that feeling that you have. However, I'm going to step away now and figure out what this is about for me. Now, that takes a lot of maturity. Most people react in the moment. And what I have found most helpful is to notice that you're reacting and choose to respond instead. So, responding means that you take responsibility for. And taking responsibility for yourself is remembering that there is a, a distinction between that which you are being, which is your spiritual true self, and the way you're behaving or the way someone else is behaving toward you. So if someone is upset with you or you're upset with yourself, remember that there is a part of you and a part of the other person or other people that don't really have that connection in their minds at the moment. They're not aware of that connection. They're only aware of the absence of love, the absence of acceptance, the absence of kindness, the absence of compassion, either you to yourself or someone who is coming toward you with some kind of emotion that feels very uncomfortable to you. And that's part of our humanness. So our responsibility is to learn how to deal with that. And sometimes there is a way that you can view that person who is upset with you that helps you to recognize that they are coming from their human self, and there may be something for you in their reaction to you to understand about yourself. So if you're feeling very indignant and outraged at what they're saying to you, then that could mean that there's some kind of a little seed or spark inside of you that reminds you of something, either from the past or something that you didn't like about yourself. There's an example. that I'd like to give right now, because it actually touches all of these things. It touches kindness, and it touches forgiveness and love and respect and caring. And that is, I had a client one time who was very upset with her cousin. They played cards all the time, and she always thought that her cousin was cheating. And she was very upset, and the cousin always denied it. And my client was telling me how angry she was, that she was going to make sure that her cousin understood how angry she was about what she perceived as cheating. So this went on, and I actually was able to help the client to discover why her reaction to her cousin's perceived cheating, and I'm saying perceived because I wasn't there, I don't know if she was actually cheating. The cousin in her mind didn't think she was cheating, but my client was sure that her cousin was cheating. And what actually I was able to help my client understand is that her reaction of intense outrage at this was because inside of herself, she was actually cheating herself. Not in that kind of way, but in a way where she would always say, "Oh, I'm just wonderful. I just feel great." And it was that she was hiding. She was cheating herself from understanding a lot about herself and her past and things that really hurt her and upset her, and how to work through that. So once she understood that, that everyone is coming from the place within themselves that they are aware of in the moment. And so when she was aware of that, and she started actually working on herself, she was able to respond to her cousin with some kindness, some respectfulness, and literally with forgiveness in time. So when we look at other people, we look at things around us, we look at the craziness in the world, we look at the injustices in the world, we can say, well, that's really bad. And for us, it feels that way. It feels awful. I, for one, hate to see people suffering. My whole life has been about helping people who are in some kind of pain. And as a nurse, I've been able to do that. As a counselor, I've been able to help people. As a therapist, as an educator, I've been able to do that. However, my work with others and with myself has always been understanding where our awareness is. So, kindness and forgiveness and compassion and love and respect are all part of shifting your perception, shifting your focus. So, someone who is coming at you with anger, frustration, hatred, um, blame, disappointment, whatever it is that's uncomfortable, they are seeing you or the situation through their own filter. And their filter can be very unclear. Their filter can mean that they have not identified, let alone healed, any of the things that are deep within them. So that's why it's important to be kind. Um, One of the things that you can do is always go back and connect with yourself. I am fortunate to be an elevated listener through Dr. Jacqueline's presentations on becoming an elevated listener, and I encourage you to do that too. It's wonderful because we don't realize how we don't listen to people. Usually we're hearing and then we're forming a reaction to that, whatever we're hearing, instead of really listening to the intent of the person, to the feelings of the person. And in my training as an Imago relationship therapist, we really had to learn how to listen to each other. Couples, this was usually for couples or parents and children, how to listen and how to validate what the other was saying, even if we disagreed. So, our expressions of kindness in saying, I hear you, are expressions of respect in that I see that you're upset, are expressions of love in seeing that we may not love this behavior at all, yet we can choose to see the divine being inside that person. We can choose to see that. We can choose right in the moment that we are that person or even ourselves when we are feeling um, some uncomfortable feelings within ourselves, we are separated. The behavior, the feelings are separate from our core being. So we remember our core being and come from that. Okay, so if you have a person that is very difficult for you to be around, for example, you can choose to remove yourself from that person, yet do it in a kind way. Do it in a kind way. Have compassion, which means to understand that that person has a right to their feelings, and they may not be your feelings. You may not feel that they are true, yet that person who is someone you feel you need to separate from deserves to be seen by you as they're caught up in the moment in whatever they're dealing with, or maybe not dealing with. But always bring that back to yourself as well, because it's not that you are trying to be more than that person or trying to be better than that person, but you're recognizing how you are united with that person and how you have perhaps been in that same situation. I remember a time my younger son was riding with me in the car, and he was about 11 years old, and somebody cut me off on the road, and I just reacted like, how dare you do that? Don't you know that you cut me off in the road? And don't you know that you almost hit my car and I have a child in my car? And my son said to me, Mom, do what you always say. Take a deep breath and say, okay, perhaps that person didn't see you. Perhaps that person was going to a funeral. Perhaps that person was on his way to the hospital because somebody in their family was sick. I just looked at that child of mine and thought, wow, he has really been listening at 11 years old. And he was reminding me of the very thing that I was teaching and yet wasn't in that moment practicing. So we all have those times. And we can go back and forth with remembering who we really are in our core. And love, when you feel love and you express love, it is not to be the ego type of love. It is to be the type of love that is divine love, the non-judgmental, unconditional love of the soul of that person. And I remember the line from the Bible that when Jesus was dying on the cross and he said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. To me, that means that people often, many times even, do not understand what they are doing. They don't know the impact that they're having on someone else. That can be very damaging and destructive. Maybe they don't want to know. Maybe they have never learned how to know. And certainly they are not connected with the spiritual part of themselves. They are not respecting themselves, therefore they are not respecting others. So it's very important to remember that we are holistic beings and we can always return to that inner truth that we are to help us. And from that place, we can generate compassion, we can generate kindness, we can generate the beingness. And remember that all of us are here to understand how to better express, more frequently express, more lovingly express that part of us that is our true self. Now to forgiveness. Forgiveness is really a shift in perception. Forgiveness is being allowing yourself to be free and allowing yourself to be free of what has hurt you, how you have reacted with hurt, how you have reacted with rage, how you have reacted with anger, whatever it was. To forgive that other person or to forgive yourself means that you are willing to unblock the love, that spiritual love I was just talking about. You're willing to unblock that and become aware of the presence of love. So, someone who is always at you, I mean, that's the only word I can think of because it could be with anything that's uncomfortable. That person is not connected with love at that moment. And in our reactions, sometimes when we are rude or defensive or um, disrespectful, we're not connected with that either. So forgiveness is really not only a shift in perception that removes that block to your awareness of love's presence at your core, but it also is a process. So sometimes you can't do that right away. I had to forgive someone. It took me quite a long time to forgive this person who was very destructive in my life at one point. And I really had to keep saying to myself, I am willing to forgive this person. I don't quite know how yet. I am willing to do that. I am willing to learn how to forgive. And I am grateful for any help that I can receive in learning how to do that. So we all experience challenges in this human form, and it's important to raise your vibration so that every challenge that comes toward you, you can respond with with love. You can respond with kindness. You can respond with compassion. Compassion is something that has filled my work as a nurse, as an educator, as a healer, as a therapist, as a counselor, because I always remember, of course, I had to learn to remember this, but now I can always remember that that person is in some kind of pain and they want to grow out of that pain. And sometimes they can't yet. They need to be willing to. And when you're willing to, the help comes. So it doesn't mean that you are accepting the other person's behavior. It means that you are willing to just let that go, free yourself of the burden of the feeling that was caused by that person's behavior toward you. And as you free yourself of that burden, you can return to that love and compassion and respect and kindness and forgiveness. And then you can actually move that out energetically to that person. The other thing that I want to talk about is gratitude. The more grateful you are for everything in your life, everything that you have, everything that you learn, everything that you encounter, the more gratitude you have, the higher your vibration becomes. And then it becomes easier and easier to connect with that love source again within you and connect with people that are of and circumstances and situations and nature that are of the higher vibrations. So, there is a saying that some people are in your life for a reason, some people are in your life for a season, and some people are in your life to help you to grow. I'm not sure that's exactly how the saying goes, but that's how I'm presenting it right now. So, to be grateful, grateful for the hot water that you have in your shower, grateful for the home you live in. Instead of looking at what you don't have, be grateful for what you do have. And as you are grateful, as you forgive, and always forgiving yourself, saying, I chose to do it that way, yet now I'm going to learn how to choose to respond a different way. That's going to be a higher vibration, that's going to be more full of love and compassion and respect and gratitude. And that raises you up and it raises everyone else up that is around you. And if a person doesn't know that on a conscious level, they will know that on a spiritual level. It's up to them to get in touch with their spirit, their spiritual source, their spiritual um, source inside of themselves. So remember that everything is energy, everything is connected. You keep wanting and knowing that for you to feel that higher connection, that powerfulness, that empowerment, that is your right as a divine being having a human experience. Be grateful for that and know that from that you also learn wisdom and you also are happier and you will start attracting things of like mindedness. You will start attracting like energy. So I know we're almost at the end. I have just been delighted to present all of this to you. I hope that you have learned. I want to end with the practice of a saying called Namaste. So anybody who does yoga or one of the other, any kind of martial arts knows Namaste. What that means is the divine in me recognizes recognizes and honors the divine in you. So we are in this one presence, this one power, one life all together, having different experiences because we're all on our path toward the connection, the conscious connection of that spirit that we are part of, the universe. Remember that the universe is abundant. So, whatever blocks we have put in the way of that abundance, we can dissolve those blocks by going within to that source and resource that is God, as some people call that power, that God, that energy, that creative one, and recognize that we are that in essence. So, I also want to remind you, I have it here, sneeze, excuse me, I guess I'm not. Yes, I am. Excuse me. God bless me. So you can promise yourself that you will do, I will say this, I will do what I can with what I have, knowing that I always, always have way more than I am aware of. That's what comes from my spiritual source. So thank you all very much. Know that you can cover your heart and say, remember I said this a couple of either last week or the week before, just taking a breath and saying, I completely love and accept myself with all my strengths and vulnerabilities. And then cross the other way, and then a third time, saying that. Because you deserve that. You are worthy. You are valued. You are loved. You are very important in the fabric of the universe and of life. So, namaste and thank you.
That was beautiful, Jean. I wish I could give you a big hug right now.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
What a beautiful way to end your series of 12, lifting us all up and reminding us of everything that we have to be grateful for. I'm certainly grateful to have met you and call you my friend. And I really appreciate the fun phone conversations we've had, some for a few hours. And I just know that in my heart that I am a better person for knowing you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline. And I feel very much the same. Again, it was no coincidence. We were meant to be brought together for this platform and as friends and colleagues. And I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm grateful as well. And if you would love to share your contact information one more time, and I'll put up your banner.
Okay. So I would encourage any of you who are interested, you can watch all of my 12 sessions on YouTube, USA Global TV YouTube channel, Talking Heads. And you'll find me there as well as all of the other wonderful talking heads. And you can connect with me by emailing me at jlifespirit at comcast.net. Please put in the subject line that you are have heard my show or you were connected with Dr. Jacqueline or Talking Heads or something, so I know that you really do want to get in touch with me in a valid way, and I will certainly respond. So thank you very much. Also, my book, Reflections of a Seasoned Soul, there are many, many things in the book that I think would be helpful to you. All of my stories are actually very true, and including my near death experience and why I had to come back, and my mystical experiences, and my journey, which had many struggles and yet many triumphs. So, thank you again.
Thank you so much. And Jean, right before you go, I just want everyone to know that they can also read about your journey, at least part of it, in my new book, which is coming out. This is not the cover, by the way. I just met with my book coach and the cover has changed. So the name of the book is Adversity to Awesome, True Life Stories of Inspiration from Survivors of Imprisonment, Addiction, Sexual Assault, and More. And I have a chapter in there. Jean has a chapter in there, and we will be going through this on our launch day, which is March. It's May. Hello, May the 4th. May the 4th. So that's
Yeah.
when you can actually buy the paper book copy. You can order the ebook copy right now on Amazon. All right, G, we're going to say goodbye together to our audience. And it's been my pleasure again having you, and we look forward to having you back in the future. In the meantime,
Yes.
enjoy your summer.
Thank you. You as well. All of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Okay.
Jean.
Bye. Bye.